Today, we are diving deep into one of the most legendary muscle car revivals of all time, the 2026 Ford Mustang Boss 429. This nameplate holds a sacred place in automotive history, and Ford has brought it back in a way that pays tribute to its roots while pushing the boundaries of what a modern muscle car can achieve. The Boss 429 was once a pure homologation beast, born for NASCAR glory in the late 60s and early 70s, and now in 2026 it returns as a performance icon, reimagined with cutting-edge technology, brutal power, and the unmistakable Mustang spirit. From the moment you lay eyes on the 2026 Ford Mustang Boss 429, you know it's no ordinary Mustang. The exterior styling screams aggression and presence, with a wide and muscular stance that sits lower to the ground than the standard GT models. Ford has given it unique bodywork with flared fenders, a sculpted hood with an oversized air intake, and aerodynamic enhancements that not only nod to its racing heritage, but also serve a functional purpose. The grille is bold with the Boss 429 badging proudly displayed, while the front splitter, rear diffuser, and active wing work together to keep the car planted at high speeds. It rides on massive forged alloy wheels wrapped in ultra-performance tires, and the quad exhaust tips at the rear deliver a menacing reminder that this machine is ready to unleash raw fury on command. The overall design is both retro-inspired and futuristic, with just enough nostalgia to connect it to its legendary past while still fitting perfectly into the modern muscle car era. Step inside, and the interior of the 2026 Boss 429 is where old-school muscle meets modern luxury and technology. Ford has crafted a cockpit that focuses on the driver while offering premium comfort and state-of-the-art features. The seats are heavily bolstered, racing-inspired buckets trimmed in leather and Alcantara, with subtle Boss 429 embossing stitched into the headrests. The flat-bottom steering wheel feels performance-oriented, yet refined, and behind it sits a fully digital customizable instrument cluster that gives you real-time performance data, G-force meters, and even track telemetry. The center console is dominated by a large high-resolution touchscreen running Ford's latest sync system, complete with wireless Apple CarPlay, Android Auto navigation, and a premium Bang & Olufsen sound system for those who want to mix raw performance with entertainment. Despite its track-ready nature, Ford hasn't cut corners on comfort. Dual-zone climate control, heated and ventilated seats, and driver assist features like adaptive cruise control and lane keeping assist make it usable for everyday driving. This blend of muscle and modern convenience makes the Boss 429 not just a track monster, but also a refined grand tourer when you want it to be. But of course, the heart and soul of the 2026 Ford Mustang Boss 429 lies under the hood. This car is all about performance, and Ford did not hold back. At the core is a monstrous 7.0-liter naturally aspirated V8, re-engineered with modern technology, delivering a staggering 825 horsepower and 720 lb-ft of torque. This engine is paired with either a 6-speed manual transmission for purists who crave the raw, mechanical connection to the car, or a lightning-fast 10-speed automatic for those who want blistering acceleration times. Power is sent to the rear wheels through a reinforced limited-slip differential, and Ford has equipped it with advanced launch control and selectable drive modes to maximize performance on the street and the track. 0 to 60 comes in an estimated 3.2 seconds, making it one of the fastest muscle cars ever produced. While the top speed stretches past 200 mph, the exhaust note is pure music to an enthusiast's ears, deep, throaty, and commanding, echoing the Boss 429 heritage while letting everyone know this isn't just another Mustang. Performance isn't just about straight-line speed, and Ford has engineered the chassis, suspension, and brakes to match the sheer power of this beast. The Boss 429 features adaptive magnetic ride suspension, allowing it to switch seamlessly from comfortable cruising to razor-sharp handling on demand. The wide track and lightweight body panels improve agility, while massive Brembo carbon ceramic brakes ensure stopping power is just as brutal as its acceleration. The car feels planted and balanced with incredible cornering grip and precise steering feedback. Whether tearing down a drag strip or carving through winding mountain roads, the Boss 429 offers an experience that blends classic muscle car muscle with modern-day precision and finesse. When it comes to pricing, Ford has positioned the 2026 Boss 429 as a flagship Mustang, sitting above the Shelby GT500 in exclusivity and performance. Starting around $11,000, it's not cheap. But given the level of engineering, performance, and limited production, it's a price many collectors and enthusiasts are more than willing to pay. Special edition trims and performance packages can push the price closer to $13,000, but with only a limited number being built each year, this car is guaranteed to become a future classic and a highly sought-after collector's item. In summary, the 2026 Ford Mustang Boss 429 is more than just a car, it's a statement. It carries the weight of its legendary past while boldly stepping into the future with unmatched power, style, and technology. It's a true muscle car reborn for a new era, reminding the world that the Mustang still reigns supreme in the performance world. From its aggressive exterior, luxurious yet driver-focused interior, monstrous V8 engine, and track-ready dynamics, the Boss 429 is the ultimate expression of American muscle in 2026. If you're a die-hard Mustang fan, a muscle car enthusiast, or someone who simply appreciates raw performance wrapped in iconic styling, the 2026 Boss 429 is a car that delivers on every level. This is Ford proving once again that legends never die. They just come back stronger, louder, and faster. Something that has sent shockwaves across the car community: the return of the legendary 2026 Oldsmobile 442 Cutlass. Yes, you heard that right. The nameplate that defined muscle car heritage in the late 60s and early 70s is back, reimagined for a new era while still keeping that raw American muscle DNA alive. Oldsmobile has resurrected the 442 Cutlass not just as a nostalgic callback, but as a full-on modern performance beast that blends retro styling with futuristic technology. If you've been waiting for a car that brings classic muscle car character into the 21st century, this might just be it. Starting with the exterior, the 2026 Oldsmobile 442 Cutlass demands attention the moment you lay eyes on it. The designers took clear inspiration from the original Cutlass design cues: the long hood, the muscular stance, and the aggressive front fascia with a modern twist. The front grille is bold and squared off, framed by sharp LED headlights that incorporate a subtle nod to the quad light setup of the past. Sculpted lines run across the hood, flowing into wide fenders that scream power and performance. The rear keeps the retro-inspired look alive with sleek taillights that wrap around a deck lid spoiler, while quad exhaust tips remind you that this isn't just a showpiece, it's a muscle car meant to perform. Sitting low on massive 20 or even optional 21-inch alloy wheels, the 442 Cutlass carries an unmistakable road presence that pays homage to its heritage while looking fresh enough to stand alongside modern supercars. Step inside the cabin, and the Oldsmobile team has created something that feels equal parts classic and cutting edge. You're greeted with a driver-focused cockpit that blends premium leather, brushed aluminum, and even subtle wood grain accents for that retro touch. The seats are deeply bolstered, offering excellent support whether you're cruising on the highway or attacking corners on a track. The dashboard houses a massive 15-inch touchscreen that runs the latest infotainment system with Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, and even AI-assisted voice controls. But Oldsmobile made sure not to overdo the digital screens. The driver's gauge cluster can be customized to show either a modern digital layout or a retro-inspired analog look, which is a fantastic nod to the car's roots. Ambient lighting, premium Bose sound, and a panoramic sunroof add luxury to the muscle, making it just as comfortable for long drives as it is thrilling on back roads. The rear seats are surprisingly usable, and trunk space is decent, meaning this car doesn't sacrifice practicality for performance. Now let's talk performance, because this is where the 442 Cutlass truly flexes its muscles. Under the hood, you get two powerhouse options. The standard model comes with a naturally aspirated 6.2-liter V8 that pumps out a jaw-dropping 500 horsepower and 480 pound-feet of torque. But for those who want the ultimate thrill, Oldsmobile offers a supercharged variant that boosts output to nearly 650 horsepower, putting it right in line with today's top-tier American muscle machines like the Dodge Challenger Hellcat and Chevy Camaro ZL1. Power is sent to the rear wheels through a 10-speed automatic transmission, with an available 6-speed manual for purists who want that raw, connected driving experience. The car rockets from 0 to 60 in just 3.6 seconds in the supercharged model, while top speed touches 190 miles per hour. Handling has been refined thanks to adaptive suspension, magnetic ride control, and an advanced traction system that allows you to switch between modes: comfort, sport, and track, depending on how wild you want your drive to be. The driving dynamics strike a balance between old-school muscle and modern precision. The steering is sharp, the brakes are strong thanks to Brembo calipers, and the chassis feels incredibly planted, even at high speeds. Unlike the muscle cars of old, which were all about straight-line performance, the 2026 442 Cutlass can handle corners with confidence. It's a machine that delivers not only on the nostalgia of raw power, but also the refinement expected from a modern-day sports coupe. When it comes to pricing, Oldsmobile has been strategic. The base model starts around $55,000, which is an impressive entry point, considering the performance and luxury packed into this car. The higher output supercharged variant pushes closer to $75,000 to $8,000 depending on options, which still positions it as a strong value against competitors like the Dodge Challenger, Hellcat Ford Mustang Dark Horse, and Chevy Camaro ZL1. Oldsmobile is clearly targeting enthusiasts who want muscle car performance without compromising on modern tech and comfort. The return of the Oldsmobile 442. Cutlass is more than just another car release, it's a statement. It's proof that automakers still see the value in honoring classic heritage, while giving enthusiasts something to look forward to in the future. It's a blend of retro style, modern technology, thrilling performance, and attainable pricing that makes this car a serious contender in today's muscle car market. Whether you grew up admiring the original 442 or you're just discovering the name for the first time, the 2026 Cutlass is a car that will grab your attention and keep it. So what do you think of the 2026 Oldsmobile 442 Cutlass? Is this the perfect revival of a muscle car legend, or do you think it should have stayed in the past? 2026 Volkswagen Beetle, a name that carries decades of legacy, memories, and style, has been reimagined for today's world, and Volkswagen has brought it back with a bold mix of retro charm and cutting-edge technology. This is not just a car, it's a cultural icon reborn, and in this review, we're going to explore everything from the design to the interior, the performance under the hood, and of course, the price point that will decide just how accessible this revival truly is. The very first thing that strikes you when looking at the 2026 Volkswagen Beetle is its exterior. The design pays homage to the classic Beetle shape that millions of people around the globe fell in love with, but now it's sharper, sleeker, and more aerodynamic than ever before. The rounded silhouette is still here, but Volkswagen has given it a modern twist with slimmer LED headlights, a wider stance, and bolder wheel arches that make it feel more aggressive without losing its playful personality. The car sits on Volkswagen's latest modular EV platform, and that's right, this Beetle is fully electric, marking a new era for one of the world's most iconic cars. The smooth lines, hidden door handles, and minimalist design choices show that VW wanted to keep things simple yet futuristic. It's the kind of car that stands out on the road, not because it's trying too hard, but because it balances nostalgia and innovation perfectly. Moving to the interior, this is where the Beetle really impresses. Volkswagen has gone all out to make this cabin feel like a blend of retro cues and modern technology. The rounded dashboard design pays tribute to the classic models, but it's been reimagined with a fully digital 12.3-inch driver display and a floating 15-inch central infotainment screen that supports the latest Volkswagen software, wireless Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, and even over-the-air updates. The cabin lighting is customizable, wrapping around the curves of the dashboard and doors, creating an ambient, cozy atmosphere that makes the Beetle feel like more than just a car. It feels like a lifestyle. The seats are supportive and come with sustainable materials, with options for vegan leather and recycled fabrics, aligning with Volkswagen's green mission. Space-wise, the Beetle has always been compact, but thanks to the EV platform, interior space has been optimized. You now get more rear legroom, a surprisingly roomy trunk, and even extra storage up front thanks to the frunk. This makes the Beetle not just stylish, but also practical for city life and daily use. Now let's talk about performance, and here's where things get really exciting. The 2026 Beetle comes with multiple powertrain options, starting with a single-motor rear-wheel drive variant producing around 220 horsepower. which is more than enough for zippy city driving and highway cruising. For those who want more punch, Volkswagen is offering a dual-motor all-wheel drive version pushing close to 330 horsepower, giving the Beetle real hot hatch levels of performance. Acceleration is brisk, with the AWD model hitting 0 to 60 miles per hour in just under 5.5 seconds. This makes it not just a fun city car, but also something that can genuinely thrill you on the open road. The ride is smooth thanks to adaptive suspension, and handling is tight and responsive. With the battery pack mounted low, the Beetle has a planted feel around corners, and regenerative braking allows you to drive with a single pedal most of the time. Range is equally competitive, with the base version offering up to 270 miles on a full charge, while the extended battery pack pushes that to nearly 330 miles. Fast charging is standard, and with a high-speed charger, you can get from 10 to 80% in just over 25 minutes, making long trips entirely possible. Of course, safety and driver assistance play a huge role in modern cars, and Volkswagen hasn't cut corners here. The 2026 Beetle comes standard with a full suite of driver assist features including adaptive cruise control, lane keeping assist, blind spot monitoring, emergency braking, and automated parking. Higher trims even offer Volkswagen's semi-autonomous driving system, allowing hands-free operation on supported highways, which adds another layer of comfort and convenience. Finally, let's touch on the price. Volkswagen knows that the Beetle has always been a people's car, and while the technology packed into this new model pushes it toward the premium EV market, they've tried to keep it relatively accessible. The base model starts around $32,000, making it one of the more affordable entry points into the EV world, while the higher performance trims can go up to $45,000. Fully loaded with all the bells and whistles, you might see the price climb closer to $5,000, but even then, you're getting a piece of automotive history blended with modern-day innovation. Considering the design, features, performance, and nostalgia factor, many buyers will find that price more than worth it. The 2026 Volkswagen Beetle is a car that doesn't just rely on its heritage. It redefines what the Beetle can be in the modern world. It's stylish, it's practical, it's fun to drive, and it's packed with technology that makes it future-ready. More importantly, it carries forward the spirit of the original Beetle, being approachable, lovable, and unique. Volkswagen has managed to bring back an icon without making it feel outdated, and instead, they've created something that fits perfectly into today's automotive landscape. So if you're someone who values design, nostalgia, practicality, and performance all wrapped into one, the new Beetle might just be the perfect choice. This is more than just the return of a legend. It's proof that some classics never die, they just evolve with time. After decades of silence, the Roadrunner nameplate has finally made a comeback, blending its muscle car roots with modern technology and performance that speaks to today's car enthusiasts. This isn't just a revival, it's a bold statement from Plymouth that the muscle car era is far from over. Let's take an in-depth look at everything this new beast brings to the table, from its aggressive design and performance to the interior refinements and, of course, pricing. The first thing that grabs your attention is the exterior. The 2026 Roadrunner looks unapologetically muscular, a perfect homage to its late 60s and early 70s heritage while still looking futuristic. The wide stance immediately commands respect, with a long hood that hints at the power hidden underneath. The front fascia features a modern interpretation of the classic split grille, flanked by slim, piercing LED headlights that give it a predatory look. The Roadrunner badge proudly sits up front, paying tribute to its legacy but in a sleeker, more aggressive style. The hood scoop isn't just for show. It's functional, channeling air straight into the engine bay for cooling and performance. The sculpted sides show off aerodynamic lines, while the rear end is all about attitude with a fastback profile, LED taillights that stretch across the back, and a quad exhaust system that lets everyone know this isn't just another modern sports car. And yes, Plymouth has even brought back the classic Roadrunner beep beep horn as a nostalgic touch. Step inside, and you're greeted with a cabin that feels like the perfect blend of muscle and luxury. The 2026 Roadrunner doesn't just stick to retro cues, it updates them with modern comfort and tech. The driver-focused cockpit has a flat-bottom steering wheel wrapped in leather and Alcantara, with performance paddle shifters ready for action. Digital meets tradition here, as the fully customizable 12-inch digital gauge cluster displays speed, revs, and performance data. But you can also switch to a retro-inspired theme that mimics the classic analog dials from the 70s. The center console houses a massive 15-inch infotainment system with all the modern conveniences: wireless, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, a premium Harman Kardon sound system, and advanced navigation. Plymouth hasn't skimped on comfort either, with heated and ventilated bucket seats featuring bolstered support for spirited driving. The interior materials feel premium, mixing carbon fiber, brushed aluminum, and soft-touch leather throughout the cabin. Even the back seats are surprisingly roomy, making this car more practical than some of its rivals. Now let's get to what really matters: the performance. Under the hood, the 2026 Roadrunner offers two powertrain options. The standard version comes with a 5.7-liter Hemi V8, producing a solid 480 horsepower, staying true to its muscle car DNA. But the star of the show is the high-performance model, which packs a supercharged 6.2-liter Hemi V8, tuned to deliver a jaw-dropping 720 horsepower and over 650 pound-feet of torque. This beast rockets from 0 to 60 in just 3.2 seconds, putting it in supercar territory while still keeping its muscle car soul intact. Power is sent to the rear wheels through either a 6-speed manual transmission for purists or an 8-speed automatic with launch control for maximum performance. Plymouth has also integrated modern driving dynamics, adaptive suspension, Brembo performance brakes, and an advanced traction system that lets you switch between driving modes like comfort, sport, track, and drag. Whether you're cruising the highway or tearing up the drag strip, the Roadrunner adapts to give you an exhilarating experience every time. And don't worry, that V8 soundtrack is still there, raw, thunderous, and guaranteed to turn heads wherever you go. In terms of fuel efficiency, while no one buys a Roadrunner to save gas, Plymouth has added cylinder deactivation technology and mild hybrid assist to the lineup, giving it a surprising balance of power and efficiency. For daily driving, it manages to stay reasonable, but when you unleash it, expect that classic thirsty V8 roar. Finally, let's talk price. Plymouth has been smart here, positioning the Roadrunner competitively against both American muscle rivals and even some European sports cars. The base model with the naturally aspirated V8 is expected to start around $52,000, making it an attainable dream car for muscle car enthusiasts. The high-performance supercharged variant pushes closer to $78,000, but considering the power, technology, and heritage you're getting, it's still a bargain compared to European rivals offering similar performance. Plymouth will also offer special limited edition trims with unique paint, heritage styling cues, and numbered plaques, which are sure to become collector's items. The 2026 Plymouth Roadrunner is more than just a car. It's a rebirth of an icon, a modern muscle car that respects its heritage while embracing the future. It's got the looks, the performance, the comfort, and the price point to shake up the industry and remind everyone why the Roadrunner name once dominated the streets. Whether you're a lifelong fan of Plymouth or just someone who loves fast, aggressive cars, this new Roadrunner is a statement you can't ignore. So, what do you think? Has Plymouth nailed the comeback of the Roadrunner? Or would you have liked to see something different under the hood? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Make sure to hit that like button if you enjoyed this deep dive. And don't forget to subscribe for more car reviews, reveals, and automotive news. Thanks for watching, and until next time, keep your engines roaring.